Hi, I'm Bonnie Annis,
And I'm Stephanie Prestidge.
and we're here from Lemoore. We're getting really good at that. And today we're going to talk about probiotic skincare, and we're going to present what every esthetician and skincare therapist loves, which is a case study. So, the interesting thing about bringing something new to a country that has not seen it before is that you have your own experiences, but you don't have as many experiences with the end user. So
Yep.
we're really, really excited and very fortunate to be able to present a story about um, one user's experience of specifically the Esse Skincare Protect Oil. I will tell you that stuff is magic and we can't talk about it enough. I just said that yesterday, and I think that's going to be my theme for the month of February, because we are inside, we are dry, we are irritated.
Furnaces are on high
Oh,
gear.
just everything. We're not getting outside as much as
Yep.
we need to. So we were presented with a situation of someone who I'll just give the backstory a little bit. She was desperate. She has had pretty normal skin all her life. She's in her 50s. She recently had cancer. I would say not that recently, a couple years ago, but her skin has never been the same since. Her skin
Yeah.
started to get more fragile. It just was more irritated. She's not in,
Compromised.
yeah, it's
Very
just
compromised.
compromised. She's
Yep.
not in any treatment now. She takes kind of her maintenance doses of different things. And I don't know a whole heck of a lot of that. This is not my business. But she came to us, and I'm going to share a picture now of what her skin looked like after she had gotten to the desperation point. And this is what it looks like. So, this is what she presented us with. She said, I don't know what to do about this. And clearly, this is an issue. This is somebody who I know fairly well who doesn't generally worry about things a lot. She just kind of keeps going. She works hard, she works a lot of hours, and she just keeps going. But she was in this situation going on vacation. She hadn't had a vacation in a long time. And she wanted to deal with this before she went away, understandably. You know, when we work in this industry, we get something like this happening and we jump on it. This is an end user who just is living her life, and it got to the point where she was just done with this. So she said, "Can you help me?" Why, yes, I think we can. And I just wanted to give Stephanie the floor for just a minute as our educator, who can talk about how this compromised skin barrier led to this perioral dermatitis. Do you want to just talk about that for a quick second?
Absolutely. First things first, people usually say the word eczema. Let's just be honest. We're using proper terminology because we are speaking to professional skin therapists. But for anybody else who's watching, people usually use the word eczema. But proper terminology is this is a type of dermatitis called perioral. We won't get into that, but
I just want to say, though, that the idea of perioral dermatitis is not technically a diagnosis.
true.
We don't know. In fact, this person went to the doctor who said, "Ah, you have perioral dermatitis," and she came to me and said, "I know what I have now." And basically, perioral dermatitis just means an inflammation
Of
of
the
the
skin. Yeah.
skin around your mouth.
Yeah, it just means the
Okay,
location.
right.
But people usually say the word eczema, but the proper term is dermatitis. So, a few things to keep in mind for professional skin therapists when you see this with clients is you need to do a proper consultation and you need the whole backstory. So, Bonnie already gave the backstory ahead of time, which is perfect, of previous treatments the person's gone through, what would compromise a barrier. For someone who does little to their skin, this is not the skincare routine that caused this.
Mm-hmm.
This is environmental,
Mm-hmm.
conditional weather, and previous history of what their body's gone through. Our skin is the largest organ of the human body. That's very important. And it does, we now know, because of the Human Microbiome Project, that there is a gut skin microbiome axis. They work together. So clearly, there's more than just skincare routine. Okay, I think that's very important.
There wasn't a whole heck of a lot of skincare routine before this.
And I think that's important because when we have inflammation on the skin, we need to truly take the low, slow approach. And I actually just had this conversation with a professional skin therapist this week of how to rethink when a client comes back feeling they have a negative reaction when it actually is not a skin reaction, it's a skin purging. We have to remember our organ renews in a month.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever we put on the skin for a month, we're not going to see like the full result for a whole month. Yes, we'll see progress. We will see progress, but to truly see what something's going to do, it's going to take a month.
It's going to take some time to get through it.
So don't throw too much at this.
Yes, and that's exactly what we did. So what was the solution we did here was we backed off of everything else.
Yes.
Except not even a cleanser.
Water.
Just water.
Yep.
And we backed off of everything else, and we went with the Esse Probiotic Skincare Protect Oil. So do you want to just talk a little bit about, before we get into the next couple of photos, do you want to just talk about the Protect Oil a little bit?
Yes. Awesome. Protect Oil.
Yeah.
The main ingredient, and mostly what's in this package, is Shmenia oil. I love saying it.
I feel like that word is just like made up.
It's plant-based. It's a plant from Africa continent. And what it does is it's a barrier protector. So it helps with environmental damage and pollution, but it also gives UV protection, and it has significant anti-inflammatory properties. So if you look at medicinal plants with Shmenia oil that comes from that plant, it has the medicinal properties of healing from sun. It's in Africa. Of course, it's going to have properties of healing from sun.
Right.
But why do we need healing from sun is because on skin, sun causes an inflammatory response. So you got to go back to inflammatory responses. Yes, it's sun helpful, but it's because sun causes inflammatory responses on skin, and we want to prevent that. So any types of inflammation are going to benefit from medicinal ingredients that are supposed to help with sun concerns. So that's the main focus of this oil. So only putting this oil on and nothing else.
And nothing else. So I don't know if I mentioned this part, but that she had gone to her doctor who had prescribed her a fairly intensive topical treatment. And when we looked it up, she works in a pharmacy, and so has, always looked up side effects and things like that. The cream that the doctor had given her had a significant number of side effects. And so the benefit of what we were suggesting to her is that there's not any side effects.
Yep.
So what the advice we gave was to apply Protect Oil in the morning after just, applying some water for cleansing the skin and nothing else. And so she did that. She sent me pictures frequently, and then we came to the part where she got into the healing phase. And this is what the healing process looked like for her. We started to see some flakiness. It appeared a little bit redder at first, and it was challenging because when you're going through a process like this, you need to be reassured that you're not getting worse, that you're getting better. She's still planning for her vacation, and she wants this to be dealt with.
And I think it's important, I want to add a piece to this healing part, because sometimes we don't understand. When it gets darker, it is still healing, because you have what's called post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation coming in as well. So when you heal, things do get darker before they get back to your natural skin tone. That's a good thing. It means it's healing. A lot of times we see it's changing, it's getting darker, something's wrong. No, nothing's wrong. That is part of the proper healing process.
And she could start to see in this, she could start to see the flaking, and it's the itchiness went down. It felt less sore. So she knew that something was getting better, although it was very challenging. We encouraged her to, if her skin felt a little dry, to apply Protect Oil again more times during the day. And then she went on vacation. And I'm pleased to say that this, and sun exposure is a key part of this whole process, because the sun will heal you. So she went south, and for that Canadian girl going south, there was some SPF involved, obviously, but the Protect Oil combined with some sun exposure with appropriate sun protection resulted in this.
Yeah, that's big.
It's a huge difference. Now, I will say she is wearing tinted sun protection a little bit, but you can see even beyond that, that the inflammation is gone, the irritation is gone. It was around her nose, it was around her mouth, and it's gotten to the point where...
Now, by estimating, just like an estimation, around how long do you feel it took to get to this? Like realistically, how long does it take people to heal?
I think that in this situation, I think we were looking at 2 to 3 weeks.
That's fast. Because that's less than the skin. Because the epidermis renews itself in 28 days. So if you're saying 3 weeks, that's less than 28 days that it was already healing.
Yeah,
like, that's
absolutely.
Significant.
We started to see healing after 2 days.
That's significant.
I think that's what helped her kind of continue, because she was, like I say, this is not it didn't just happen overnight, right?
Mm-hmm.
She did just kind of send me a picture and said, okay, now she knows what I do. Maybe she could have messaged me a little sooner. I'm assuming she's going to watch this video, but that's okay. You don't know until you know, right? And working in a pharmacy, I will say her first response is often, okay, what cream can I apply from my pharmacy? What pill can I take from my doctor? And so this was a little bit out of her comfort zone. And I think for a lot of us too, and a lot of consumers, they think, oh, well, it's just cosmetics.
No.
We can make a difference, right? Especially when we apply the science of the microbiome. And I know not a day goes by without someone having some exposure to media that presents microbiome, your gut, your skin, all the things, your pet food, all those things. And it's just huge. And I'm just so thrilled that we're able to, so this person was able to have a great vacation. I saw the photos. There was a lot of activity. There was a lot of adventures. And I'm so happy for her that she got to do this. She also got to feel a lot better about her skin. She made a ton of new friends. She deserved that getaway. Working in a pharmacy through a pandemic is a lot of work.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy she had this experience. And also, I would say we probably built a little bit of trust. So moving on, what is her process going to be? What are we going to be recommending to her moving on from this?
Again, slow step approach, but we would look at the rewilding kit. And we would start with, if her skin is doing well without a cleanser, we should keep using water. If our client is going to wear makeup or wear tinted SPFs, then she'll need the cleanser only in those evenings of removing that. And we'll move on with the sensitive mist and the hydro moisturizer, and just slowly implement one at a time, and slowly, because the client is still healing. We know their skin barrier is compromised because of chemo and radiation, and that might be a much longer process that it's still dealing with that. So just one product at a time. I'd say for at least 2 weeks before you introduce another product on your skin.
Yeah, and she's definitely going slow and steady with this too. But I would say, given what this picture shows, she's pretty happy. And given the photos of her adventures in the South, I think she had a fabulous time. So all in all, I think it's really satisfying to be able to present a case study, to be able to show someone what the experience of an end user is. We have another one, another person we know who's had a wonderful experience, didn't take any pictures through this whole process, despite our repeated requests to kindly take a picture. But she's like, oh, no, this is great. I'm having a good time. I don't need any pictures. Oh, but it would help us. But anyway, we're just thrilled that we can present this, and we're grateful for someone putting themselves out there and putting their trust in us to help them see some healing. And if you have questions about this Protect Oil, we're always glad to answer them. We'll make sure there's some links in the description of this video to help you learn a little bit more. And we thank you so much for your time with us to be able to talk